Okay, so I'm dead tired, but I've just had 6 shots of coffee, so now it's a race to see if I can finish a review before my brain melts. DOA, Dead or Alive. Released in June of 2007 with a runtime of 1 hour and 26 minutes and directed by Corey Ewan. Starring Jamie Presley, Devon Aoki, Holly Valance, Sarah Carter, Kane Kosugi, Natissa Molth, Matthew Marsden, Eric Roberts, and Steve Howie. There's like a dozen others in here as well, except it's one of those movies where you've got like 500 cameos all about 2 seconds long. Production budget of 21 million, a domestic take of 480,000, a foreign take of 7 million, for an overall total of 7.5 million, resulting in a fairly impressive loss of $13 million. I don't think I've ever seen a difference like that. Domestic is 0.4 of a million. Sure. So starting with characters, and let's be clear, I've never played this game. Let's see how we go. Tina, the wrestler, the kick fighting champion of punching people. Fairly funny character, got some interesting lines. She's also the most obviously choreographed or camera trick fighter. She has the most amount of cutaways and cross shots and all this sort of stuff to make her look like a martial arts fighter. Because I'm not sure if she is. But she's one of the 3 main characters. And, well, she's got a screen presence. There's definitely that. The way they presented her accent through this kept throwing me out, but in a good way. I kept being surprised that she spoke like that. I think I liked it. Kasumi, the ninja warrior princess. No, really, she's a ninja warrior princess. They keep calling her princess throughout the movie. She's run away from her clan of, I don't know who, to go and fight in this tournament for reasons that you don't really follow. To avenge your brother or find a brother or something like that. It doesn't really matter. She can clearly fight, or at least she has very, very good fight training. I don't know if it's stage training or whatever, but either way, she's the one that looks most capable of fighting when they don't have her floating around on wires so much. But, okay, this is the true martial arts ninja epic fighter in the game. Movie. Is she a good character? I don't know. She's there. Christy, the thief and apparently part-time assassin. The 3rd member of the Pretty Squad. And she's another tough fighter girl, apparently. And she does tough fighter girl things. I have no idea if Holly Valance can actually fight. She pretends really well, though. She got a lot of the poses down pat and the aggression down pat and the whole stance and the jumpy and the kicky and the punchy thing. Again, a lot of camera work to make it look like she can do it. Or maybe she can. I don't know. She's the one I'm most up in the air about. It's quite possible she can actually throw a punch. Let's be honest, anyone can beat me up. Beating up the cripple isn't hard, so I can't really throw rocks. I know that, I know. She also seems to be the actress putting the most into her role, I think. She seems to be trying harder than some of the others at portraying an actual character and really, well, giving a performance. Sarah Carter as Helena. Interesting character, bit of a side character start, comes more in the foreground later on. She's there, she does her thing. She's got about as deep a character as anyone else in this movie, which is to say it is the wafer thin. Then we've got Ryu, who's there as a support character, and he tags along for the adventure, somehow invited to the same thing, and it's all very contrived that he's there. It feels really weak that he's there, but yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. Comes across as quite a good martial artist, comes across as quite a good little fighter. Fun watching him do his thing, that's for certain. Ayane, or Ayana, or Yini, I don't know, I think they said her name a few times, I never really caught it. She's the bodyguard, assistant, friend / assassin who's sent off to kill Kasumi for running away, becoming a shinobi, and doing the tournament. That's her thing. She keeps popping up every now and then and wearing lots of purple and trying to kill Kasumi with a sword. I quite liked her character. I quite liked their fight scenes. Their fight scenes were fun. She played Typhoid Mary in Elektra, actually. Personally, Typhoid Mary would have wiped everyone out because, well, pretty much untouchable. Matthew Marsden. Kind of looks a little bit like James Marsden. Not really sure if they're related. I'll have to look into that. But either way, he's Max. He's another thief that's working with Blondie. Christy. Working with Christy to try and steal $100 million from the vault of this martial arts tournament. And that's about it. Donovan, the main bad guy, the big bad guy. He's a guy. He's there a bit. He actually acts quite well, actually. I think he's one of the best actors in the movie, which is a bit of a shame because he doesn't get any screen time, really. Unless he's being complete ham sandwich at the end. But, what you gonna do? You know, Weatherby. Weatherby is the tech IT genius who helps run the tournament and matches people up and eventually has a crisis of conscience and runs off to be a good guy. Really poorly at the end. So, yeah, he's kind of cool. He's there. Get some funny lines. That's about it. Actually, he's the basis for some really weird humor right in the middle. Wasn't expecting that. Kind of out of place. Kind of worked, kind of didn't. So characters. Well, look, the kind of worked, kind of didn't statement is pretty much accurate for the whole movie. Most of the characters look like who they're meant to represent. I did have a look at the Dead or Alive characters after I'd watched this movie to see what the comparisons were like. Not bad. Pretty close, you know. Suitable, I suppose. Their acting, not so great. It wasn't fantastic, no. Them as fighters, well, also okay. Wasn't terrible. Better than Mortal Kombat in many ways. Suppose the most memorable character would be Tina, mainly because of that accent. Kasumi, because she could actually fight. Or at least look like she really could fight. Yeah, characters get a 2. I bumped the camera again. I'm sorry. I don't know if we're in the same frame or anything anymore. Okay, so story. No, there isn't one. There really isn't. Okay. Bunch of unrelated characters brought together to beat the snot out of each other on an island for a $10 million prize pool. And the main villain is stealing all their moves and recording them through nanobot technology injected into their bloodstream so that he can become the ultimate fighter by downloading all their maneuvers into a set of glasses that he wears and therefore can fight like them. There we go. Subplot 1 is Christy and Max are trying to steal money from the island, so there's this really thin heist. And Kasumi and Ryu are trying to find out what happened to Kasumi's brother on the island for vengeance and reasons. So there's the second subplot. Quite honestly, the main story and the 2 subplots simply get in the way. They really do. I mean, they lead up to a couple of cool little scenarios, they lead up to a couple of fights, but honestly, if they just had fight, it wouldn't have been much different. I don't think the movie would have suffered at all. In fact, they could have got more fighting in, which would probably made the movie better. If they'd just given us 2 hours of fight choreo and cool outfits, probably would have been happy with that, to be honest. The story is there to loosely connect a bunch of dots. It's very silly. And nobody cares. You're not there for a story. You're there to watch beautiful people in brightly colored costumes beat each other up. And that's when the movie excels. By excels, I mean gets better. And by gets better, I mean it's not too bad. Or at least pretty okay. Story, 1.25. What story? Look and feel. Okay, this is like big budget B grade. This is a visual representation of a sugar rush. It looks like a computer game. It sounds like a computer game. It presents as a computer game. You even got the cutaways where it comes up, winner, and then it zings off screen. You're in the next sequence. It's got the fight music going on. It's even got the voiceover of the computer game. Kasumi wins, and it's what it is insane. It's very silly, and I think that combined with the script actually makes the movie kind of work. Kinda. They work nearly every aspect of the game's interface into the movie at some stage. Like, I know you've got the characters all standing in these little tubes getting scanned, which means they're spinning around as if you're on a selection screen. And the sound effects for a lot of the hits, I think it pretty much lifted from the console game. It feels like it should be. Just visually, it's all very clean. Very clean colors, very bright colors. Even when it's dark and dingy, it's still very clean, dark and dingy. Oh, there's no damage. These people flog into each other something ferocious. No damage, no bruising, not even a wrapped pair of knuckles, no blood, 0 injury. Christy and Helena beat hell through each other, really go nuts. And you see like Helena that afternoon sitting down looking sad that she lost. But other than that, fine. Anyone punch me in the face like that, I fall down now, I have big bruise. Okay? Let's talk about the sound effects for a moment. They have not shied away from making the most of the genre of this movie. You got these flip kicks and massive haymakers coming in, and they make these missile sounds like, and then they hit, the screen shakes, and there's the boom noise, and you watch this person go flying. That's cool. That's really nifty. They acknowledged how dumb this is, and they just went for it. I think my favorite is when you got this big dude called Leon, and he rocks his arms down, and it makes a shotgun cocking sound. I'm not kidding. It's gold. And the fight music they use gets you in the mood. It's dumb as rocks, but much like Mortal Kombat, the music kicks in and you're like, yeah, let's go. Because it feels like that computer game. You're in. Because in many ways, you've played this already. The costume department clearly are aware that they've got a large cast of very beautiful people. And they maximize that effect. Cinematography is okay. The camera work can make anyone who can't fight look like they can fight, and then capture some really good moments of the more athletic ones, or at least their stunt doubles, when they are fighting. So that's quite good. However, super gratuitous butt and boob shots. I mean, oh dear. There's one panning shot in particular. I'm not going to put it up here. My mum watches my channel, so I'm not putting it up here. It's very definitely and specifically framed for maximum effect. So look and feel. It's beautiful people beating each other up in beautiful locations with fairly okay cinematography and some truly delightfully bad special effects. I don't know. See, this is going to be one of those movies that conflicts me because the characters are dull and the story is almost non-existent. But gee, it was entertaining to watch. So look and feel's probably going to end up with a 2.75. I can't give it a 3. Not in any sort of good conscience can I give this movie a 3. But I'll give it a 2.75. It's just a bit of a spectacle, really. Bump the damn camera again. So I hope this is roughly where it was before. Maybe a little bit too much coffee. No, I'm kidding. I love your coffee. Script and dialogue. Yeah, right. Okay. At first, I wasn't sure if this movie was trying to be funny, if it was meant to be silly, or if they were just bad at what they were doing. And it turns out, both. You've got some bad lines delivered by wooden actors. They are here to fight each other and beat each other up, not deliver stellar performances, and it shows. Look, it's so bad. Or maybe it's just their first take, or the 22nd take, and they've given up, or everyone's given up. I don't know. But they're pretty much uninspired delivery, uninspired lines, uninspired everything else. But then they'll go and do something casually ridiculous. That's really quite wonderful. Kasumi at one stage ends up getting catapulted off a raft onto the top of a water wheel. And she just casually walks along the top of it watching this other fight. Like, this is just an everyday thing. I don't know why they did that. I have no idea why they made that choice, but they did. Or when another fight breaks through a wall into a bedroom where you've got two characters in bed together, they just sit up with the blankets around them going, watching this punch-on just happen in front of them. It's like that post-Nookie after party or something. I don't know. You'll have some of the worst lines delivered between two characters, Weatherby and Helena. They're terrible. But I'm not sure if they're meant to be good. I think they're meant to be awkward and just really bad at communicating to each other because they play into that. At the same time, they really are awkward and bad. Weatherby has this sequence where he sees Helena and it flashes to this stereotypical dream love sequence with rose petals and hearts. By about halfway through this movie, you're not sure what's happening anymore. You're pretty certain it's meant to be a fight movie, but then you're not certain either. Somewhere along the line, the writer changed gears, or someone else took over something, because it gets kind of funny. He got some genuinely amusing moments in this movie, which I was not expecting. And to be quite honest, the choreo isn't that bad. When they're fighting and they're punching on, it's actually quite good. The choreo is quite nice. And if the actors can't really fight, then they use all the camera tricks, like I've said before, to make the choreo look better. So that works. Mostly. Kinda. At times, it's so cartoony, so gratuitous, so over the top and completely out of left field that it feels it feels like a parody. I mean, the writers clearly know what they're working with here. I'm just not entirely sure if the director was on the same page. It's sort of taking itself seriously, but then it totally isn't as well. And I'm not sure which one it is. I actually suspect that this movie is about half an hour shorter than it was intended to be. Because there's some scene jumps, some dramatic scene jumps with no reference to the previous scene where these characters really should be discussing that. Even with the movie being as silly as it is, you're expecting a conversation to come out of a couple of these scenarios. Nothing happens. Then there's some other logic jumps and there's other big leaps in this movie that stand out, and you're pretty sure we're missing a scene or six. To be honest, script and dialogue, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's got a lot of holes in it. It's actually funny sometimes. It's very silly most of the time. And when it's not either of those, it's just bad. I'll be giving script and dialogue a 2.25. I kind of want to give it a 2, to be honest. But it did actually make me laugh, and it was intending to make me laugh a few times. I'm not sure what that says about me as a person, but at least it entertained me a little bit. So yeah, 2.25. Fun factor, yes, but also no. Due to the poor quality of this movie, in many ways, I want to say I didn't have a good time. It wasn't a very good movie. It wasn't very well directed. It wasn't very well written. It wasn't very well performed. It generally isn't a very good movie at all. However, keeps making me laugh when I think about it. Did I have fun? Well, yes, I kind of did actually. I mean, that sort of, this is so dumb it's entertaining sort of fun. I was smiling the whole time. I was laughing a lot. Sometimes intentional humor, sometimes because it was just terrible. Did I have fun? Yes. Yes, I did. Okay, so score for this disaster. 2.75. 2.75. Right, so final score. Well, we add all this up and we get ourselves a multicolored train wreck. It's an 11. This is not a good movie, but it is kind of fun. Would I recommend this? Yeah? Watch this with friends. Watch this with a couple of friends and have a laugh. That's what this is for, okay? So there you go. That's my review of this mess. Thanks for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. As usual, please comment down below, like, subscribe and share my review around. And as always, I hope you're having a great week and that you find some time to go and watch a movie.